happy Thursday. I want to talk fitness wristbands today, and those are sort of like fitness activity bands. Not so much the smartwatches. I'm not a huge fan of smartwatches in general. I've made videos on them previously asking if people would be interested in purchasing them if they were to be released. Well, they actually have been released since I made that video, and you know what, I've been somewhat disappointed with what I've read on them. In general, I think the Galaxy Gear it's just kind of pointless. It's a little bit of a foolish item. But you know what? Samsung has tons of money and they just want to roll out tons of product, kind of like Apple does. And there's tons of Samsung fans and they'll just go ahead and purchase them all up. So it makes no difference whatsoever. As long as they make a profit, who cares? So what I did want to talk about today was the activity bands. And the reason being is that Fitbit, which is actually one of the main manufacturers for these fitness-related activity bands, they just released a new band. I believe it's the third in their product line. So the first one they had was Fitbit Flex, and then they had Fitbit One. And Fitbit One is actually not so much an activity band itself, it kind of just sits in your pocket, and I don't see the point to it whatsoever. Actually, a lot of people didn't really see the point to it whatsoever. It's a little bit silly because you would just pull out your smartphone and do whatever tracking there. I guess if it can track your movements and stuff like that. I haven't really read too much into it, just because it was really just an inferior product from what I understood. So Fitbit actually released the Fitbit Force today, and the Fitbit Force is really a good product from what I've read and from what I've seen in the reviews. It really is an all-encompassing activity band. It includes the benefits that you would have gotten from the Fitbit Flex originally. I'm just going to quickly list off just some of the benefits of the Fitbit Force if you are interested in activity bands or you know, these type of gadgets and tech. It's improved from the original Fitbit Flex, and it definitely is an improvement from the Fitbit One. It includes sleep tracking, which is pretty cool. I've never really thought about tracking my sleep. I mean, I've discussed in videos previously that I kind of wake up on and off throughout the night because I've been trying to take in water and stay hydrated while I'm actually sleeping. It is a great time to do it because that is one of the main times when your muscles are repairing. When you're getting your sleep, you really are repairing all your muscles. You're just, you know, revitalizing and restoring yourself for the next day. So that's why it's important to get a lot of sleep and stay hydrated. So, you know, an update on that, I've actually managed to master things a little bit better, and I've sort of smoothed things out. So I am staying hydrated throughout the night successfully, and I'm not really losing much sleep. I'm finding that my sleep is great. I'm having great workouts. I'm actually having better workouts lately because of this. I'm sure among other things as well, but that's a whole other topic. Okay, moving on. It also includes the activity monitoring, which of course is if you're, you know, taking steps, running, you know, it can help you with your calorie counting and it can help you with all that other stuff. So it wirelessly syncs to your PC, and that's kind of a neat idea. It's roughly within 20 feet or so. If you're in your home, it's going to sync to your PC. You're going to have to download some small software for that, but you know, no big deal. It also will wirelessly, you know what, I guess it would be through Bluetooth to your actual Android device or your iOS device. If you have an Android device, it doesn't necessarily do it to all of them. From my understanding, it's only the Samsung devices right now, the Galaxy S3 and up from there. But I'm sure it'll sync with other devices, you know, in the next coming days. I'm sure they're going to roll out some software updates for that. So that is the Fitbit Force. Take a look at the description in the link in the description below. Also, I'm going to put a link up right here so you can have a look at that. It is a pretty good device from what I've seen in the reviews. So, you know, if you're into that sort of stuff, I'd recommend having a look at it. It's more, I would say, for people that are just getting into health and fitness that would be interested in this type of product. And that's just simply because it doesn't really include some of the elements of the other activity bands I'm about to mention. So one of those is actually created by Under Armour. And Under Armour created a band called the Armour 39. And it's not necessarily a wristband, but what it actually is, it goes around just below your chest, say, right around your rib cage, and it actually monitors your intensity. So it's a relatively new product. It tracks your intensity in the gym and when you're running, when you're doing anything. It really just makes sure that you are fully exerting yourself, and it just wants to, it seems like it's for sort of extreme athletes, or not necessarily extreme, but that's sort of what they're marketing it as. They're really just marketing it as like, for people that do, I mean, I don't know how to explain this. It's not someone that just goes for a nice evening walk, you know, after work. It's someone that really goes into the gym, hits it hard, or hops on a bike and goes for 20K or more. I don't bike ride much. I don't know if 20K is much, but it's for the people that are really into their fitness. So I'm actually somewhat interested in Armour 39. The only problem right now is that it's actually sold out. So I don't even think you can pre-order it. So you kind of got to just go to their website, link in the description below. You can sign up to their newsletter and they'll notify you once the Armour 39, I guess I'll call it an activity band, is available. So along that same line, there's actually another one called Push, and that's, you know, pretty straightforward, just P-U-S-H. It's, you know, it's basically a activity band that does go around your wrist, and it sort of monitors your intensity as well. It follows the same sort of thing as the Armour 39, and I don't really know what else it adds to, you know, a sort of added features outside of what Armour 39 already has. I do know that you can buy Push right now, so that's a big thing. There could be a price difference between the two. You know, it's hard to say if there's ever price differences between these products, because you know what, if you just Google search some of them, if you go to Amazon, if you go to eBay, you can pick up this stuff for a lot less than what its actual MSRP is, and that's just the manufacturer's suggested retail price. So I don't really like to give pricing information in a lot of my videos, just because it varies. It just depends on how willing you are to make that effort to find the best price possible. But anyways, Push, that is an activity band. It's very similar to Armour 39. It tracks the intensity. It can also determine if you're able to do more reps during your sets, apparently. So if you're doing like a set with, let's say you go to 10 reps, apparently this band can notify you and let you know if you're able to go to 12, 15, based on your intensity and how hard you're working out. So I don't know how true that is. It all sounds a little bit iffy to me. You know, I'd like to actually give these things a shot, but there's just so many of them, and I don't feel like just throwing around cash at things that I don't really support in general anyways. I mean, this stuff I think is just, if you have tons of excess you know, cash just to toss at it, and you like these gadgets, go ahead and do them. But I would rather get sort of fitness gear, you know, not so much fitness gadgets and technology stuff. I just don't trust it, number one. I don't think it's very accurate in most cases. Even though a lot of these do say they're accurate, I don't know. Just my opinion. Anyway, so Push is just like Armour 39. So just to recap, there's Fitbit Force. And Fitbit Force is just it's their newest model, and it's basically an advanced version of the Fitbit Flex, and I think it takes the Fitbit 1 and kind of integrates that. So that's Fitbit Force, there's Armour 39, and there's Push. Now these are 3 activity bands for health and fitness monitoring, I guess you can say. Now the 4th one, and I've mentioned this before, it is the Nike Fuel Band. And it's another one that's kind of hard to purchase because it tends to sell out quite a bit, and I've always really kept my eye on it to see if it can, you know, come down in price, and just as I mentioned, try to get the best price possible. But the Nike Fuel Band seems to have somewhat of a athletic type of a community. They seem to have their own sort of website set up with their own community. They don't really integrate with third-party social networks such as what you would see with Fitbit integrating with MyFitnessPal. But the Nike Fuel Band is a very well-rounded product. I mean, it's been out for a while, and you know what, I'll put the link in the description below. You can take a look at all the features of that. It doesn't necessarily track your intensity, but I do know that it has its own sort of point system that's kind of cool and kind of neat. It almost reminds me of the website Fitocracy, which is a health and fitness website, which is somewhat like the Nike Fuel Band in my opinion. I mean, it follows that sort of community type of setup, a fitness community. So I mean, you basically will do things to earn points. I mean, on Fitocracy you'll actually get badges and stuff like that. You can, you know, compete with other people and do challenges and all sorts of fun stuff. So the Nike Fuel Band, the reason I was interested in it when I did look into it, you know, even though I'm a little skeptical and a little hesitant getting these type of technologies, I find that it has its own sort of community, and it's like a competitive community, which would give it that sort of fun element. And that's why I was interested in the Nike Fuel Band when I initially looked into it. You know, obviously not interested enough because I didn't end up buying one, but it's definitely something that I would suggest looking into if you are into that sort of stuff. If you are interested, if you're watching this video and you're up to this point, you obviously want to know what's out there and what's available to you. So Nike Fuel Band is definitely one that I would say to take a look at. So that's number 4. So rounding things up, and it's one I just saw today, this is number 5, and it's called the Misfit, and that's, I'll put the link in the description below to this as well. It's the, I'll spell it out, M-I-S-F-I-T. I'll write it up right here. So it's It seems like it reminds me of the Fitbit Flex in a sense. It doesn't have the full features of the Fitbit Force, but it is very compact. And the interesting thing about this device, the Misfit, and I'll put the link in the description below, go to the website, take a look at all the different applications and how you can wear this device, because it's waterproof. You can turn it into a watch. So it's a little circular thing, and you can turn it into a watch, wear it on your wrist, you can put it like on your chest as a badge, you can wear it in the water. I mean, it's very versatile. It almost looks like it was a Kickstarter project or something like that, or an Indiegogo project. I'm not sure, but it looks interesting, and it is definitely an alternative. Its price is pretty reasonable. I'm not sure if you'd find too many of these on Amazon or eBay or any of these other sites, because it's not as popular as the other devices, but it's worth taking a look at. So have a look at that. Have a look at the Nike Fuel Band, have a look at the Push, have a look at Armour 39, and have a look at the Fitbit Force. All of these devices are pretty interesting, and you know what, if I had all sorts of cash just floating around, I'd buy them all up and do a proper review for you. But really what I want to do here is just give you the information of what's available, give you all the links in the description below, and say do your research. You know, make your decision based on that, because if I was to personally pick up one, I mean, I would only get one, there's no point in getting multiple. I'd probably lean more towards the Armour 39, or probably Fuel Band. Push I don't know too much about. It seems like it's just kind of a newer product that's not quite as researched and developed as the Armour 39. Plus I trust Armour, Under Armour, I wear them all the time. But I'd probably go in the direction of the Armour 39 or the Nike Fuel Band. And the Nike Fuel Band is just because it's, you know, sort of that competitive community. It could be fun. That's it. I think this video has gone on for a little bit too long, but you know what? That's it. Have a nice day. Take a look at some of these products. Let me know if you do pick one up. Let me know if you have seen any others that I missed here. And if you have, leave them in the comment section down below. I want to take a look at them, because if they're better, why not? Take care.